Good evening. We're in 6B. It's my pleasure and certainly my honor to be speaking with the humble hero, Mr. John J. Jeckovich. How are you doing today, Mr.
I'm doing good, very good. Thank you.
You're looking well. You're looking well. Did you have a nice dinner?
Oh, yes, very good.
How about your breakfast?
Huh?
Was your breakfast?
Yeah, breakfast was good.
What is your favorite breakfast, by the way?
Waffles.
Waffles?
Yeah.
How about, what type of cereal?
Great Lakes.
Okay. And didn't you say one time in your book you ate 27 pancakes when you're in the war?
Well, it was just somebody talking.
That was just embellishments.
Yeah?
That was just embellishments, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's May 20th, 2025. It's Tuesday. And we're sitting here speaking on podcast number 617. 617. Could you imagine you did that many already?
Oh, boy.
Boy, you're getting pretty good at it, aren't you?
Yeah.
617, wow. Wow. Mr. Jeckovich was from Company H, the 2nd Battalion of the 291st Regiment of the 75th Infantry Division of the U.S. Army during World War II. Mr. Jeckovich lives by the motto, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. Also, Mr. Jeckovich has another motto. He's jogged for 80 years, didn't you?
Well,
You hit the pavement for 80 long years. Did you ever miss a day?
no.
Mr. Jeckovich's other motto, he's got two doctors, his left leg and his right leg. And that's it, right?
That's
Two
it.
doctors, your left leg and right leg.
Right.
You jogged for 80 long years. Unfortunately, most recently, your knees blew out, but you had a pretty damn good trade-off. You're in excellent health. You never took a prescription. You never took a vitamin. Did you drink liquor?
Did I what?
Did you drink liquor?
No.
Never drank liquor. Did you smoke?
No.
Interesting fact about cigarettes. During World War II, it consisted of mostly teenagers that were doing the majority of the fighting in the war, and the Red Cross was passing out cigarettes to the young kids like candy bars.
Yeah.
Everyone had a Red Cross passed them out to everybody, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you do with your cigarettes?
I gave them to my brothers and the company.
Yeah. So the Red Cross were passing out cigarettes to the teenage GI combat fighters like they were candy bars.
Yeah.
Right. Well, do you remember some of the brands?
Pall Mall, Philip Morris, Chesterfield, Lucky Strikes,
Camel,
Camels,
Viceroy.
Viceroy, yeah.
And these were all high potent cigarettes that have non-filters.
Yeah, no filler, no filler.
Non-filter wasn't thought of then.
Yeah.
It didn't exist. And it goes even further. When the war was finally over, Mr. Jeckovich was assigned to a camp, and you had to get certain points at this camp to go home. What was the camp tents named after?
Chesterfield, Lucky Strike, Philip Morris.
There you go. Even the camp to be released for the Army was named after cigarette brands.
Yeah.
So, ironically, if you didn't get killed or shot during the war, 30 years later, good chances you died of lung cancer, right?
Yeah.
So that was a great marketing tool for the cigarette companies.
Yeah.
Shame on them. And then what happened 20 years later? How does tobacco companies market their product so easily again?
They put it on the cash register on the counter and the kids steal it.
Yeah. The 10 to 20,000 convenience stores like 7-Elevens, they had an agreement where they put a cardboard displays with several packs of cigarettes in front of the cash registers. which made it, their whole goal was to have the packs of cigarettes stolen, right?
Yeah.
Their whole goal was to get the cigarettes stolen by the younger kids. And the tobacco's motto was then, a pack stolen today is a carton sold tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just that simple, right?
Yeah.
We talked yesterday in great detail about General Patton's prayer during the Battle of Bulge, and once that prayer was answered, the weather allowed the airplanes to come in, the paratroopers to come in to the Battle of Bulge. There was great bloodshed. Mr. Jeckovich was ordered to hold Bastogne when he was surrounded by hundreds of thousands of combat Nazis and 6,000 tanks. They listened to the orders, but their casualty rate was about 97%. And now these guys are nicknamed the Bloody Bastards of Bastogne. Whatever snow was on the ground, in most cases, it was now red. In most cases, it was now red. And a few miles from you, from your locations, the Nazis captured about 50 or 60 American GIs, and on the side of the road they had the young teenage GIs stand with their hands up, and if they got the if the American GI soldier got their hands tired and just dropped them a little bit, you were shot. So it's very hard to hold your hands up in 0-degree weather when you're probably not feeling good and you're probably injured, and then you're shot. But in a way, these American soldiers said they believe that they're going to go to a POW camp because otherwise they would have just shot them now.
Yeah.
So they're waiting by the roadside with their hands up, and then what pulled up? And they lifted up the gates inside the trucks.
Yeah.
What was that? When the Nazis pulled up with their trucks.
Oh, they put the tarps down, they had a machine gun to shut them down.
Yeah. So that's what happened a few miles from Bastogne. Young American soldiers, 40, 50, 60 of them were lined up on the road. If they dropped their hands by holding them up, they were shot instantly. But they still thought they were going to become POWs, and they weren't going to be killed on the spot. All kinds of rules were broken from the Geneva Convention with the Nazis. They didn't care. They were basically complete animals. And so what happens is they're standing with their hands up, and here comes the transport trucks, which they thought they were going to be taken to a POW camp.
Yeah.
Right? And then
The tarp pulls up and the machine gun comes out.
the tarp pulled up in the back of the truck. Machine gun came up and slaughtered all these young boys. Story goes on. They tried to scatter. Most of them were killed, but some laying in the snow, blood everywhere, blood everywhere. Some of the young American soldiers were just wounded, and the Nazi stands on top of the truck and says, "We're here to help you," just like kind of like the government's here to help you today. They're not. That's the most dangerous thing. But anyways, the Nazi SS says, "We're here to help you if you're wounded. Give us a signal." So the young boys, they thought they're going to get help.
Yeah.
And once they gave a signal, what happened next?
They got shot.
Walked up, the SS walked up to that young boy and blew his head off.
Yeah.
Blew his head off. Couple escaped, but some of the other ones that escaped said, "I was laying there thinking I can't move at all. But when these guys hear these nasty Germans come and kick you hard between the legs, that would be a sign that you're alive when you jump. It's a very sensitive point. They're trying to think to themselves, how could they withstand the kick?" And that's how bad it was. So the majority of them got killed. The SS said they're here to help, and once the American boys gave a signal that they needed help, they were shot right in the head.
Yeah.
Blood absolutely everywhere. Blood, absolutely. So that's the kind of things you were dealing with. It wasn't nice. Soldiers on the front line hate war more than anybody, let me tell you that. Yeah. But if it wasn't for these guys here, we'd be speaking German. That's how aggressive the Nazis were. The Nazis were all so aggressive, and they kept on taking over territories.
19 minutes.
And one time, the Nazis occupied France, and Mr. Jeckovich and a lot of other American GIs came and ran the Nazis out. But at one point it was so bad, Hitler was giving speeches from the Eiffel Tower property.
Yeah.
So these guys didn't come. France would still be a mess today, and a lot more people would be speaking German. It was a total mess. And so that's what we talked about. General Patton's prayer yesterday, so praying for the weather to break, and he made 250,000 copies of the prayer. And and he remember getting them, and he made them, and he had them distributed to everybody.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful thing, and the prayers were answered. And then he gave the chaplain, the only one in the World War II that ever got a Bronze Star for saying a prayer.
Yeah.
And the way Patton presented it wasn't the right way. You know, the skies opened up, he's seeing blue. He goes, God damn, the prayers have been answered. Get someone go get the chaplain right now, because I'm going to give him a Bronze Star. And that's how it went. And if those skies didn't open up, it was a slaughterhouse, because the Germans were already there in position. They were already surrounding everyone in Bastogne. So when the skies opened up, we got thousands of American paratroopers. We got support coming in from fires from the planes and provisions being dropped by the planes. So it was actually a godsend. It really was a very, very important thing.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Yeah. And then after that, Mr. Jeckovich and all the divisions ran the Germans back to parts of Germany, and Adolf Hitler committed suicide, and then the majority of the Germans surrendered. But it doesn't end there, because the war in the Pacific was still going on, right?
Yeah.
The war in the Pacific was still going on. Now, all you guys barely survived World War II with the European theater. Now you had worries that they're going to ship you to the Pacific.
Yeah.
That's how everyone thought, right?
Yeah, they're all sweating it out.
Did you want to go to the Pacific?
No, I don't want to go to the Pacific, no.
There was one man that desperately wanted to go to the Pacific.
Patton, yeah.
Patton. He says, this war is over with in Europe. I need to get to the Pacific.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, he was also in World War I.
Yeah.
When you see pictures of General Patton, he looks like a 70 or 80-year-old man.
Yeah.
He was only in his 50s.
Yeah.
He was only in his 50s.
Yeah.
The war took a toll on him.
Yeah.
So as a result, he never made it to the Pacific. He got hit by a freak automobile accident that took his life. But he looked old, didn't he?
Yeah.
You had a run-in with him. Tell us how that went.
I had a ride with him.
Patton caught you in a barn. Tell us the story.
Well, Patton caught, raped and camouflaged the Jeep and truck back good enough, and Patton caught it. He looked around upon us in the barn, sleeping on a straw, got us up, to get your ass out there and get down to the next checkpoint now,
So,
on the pouring rain.
2 or 3 in the morning,
Yeah.
and you had no sleep,
Yeah.
but your buddies didn't camouflage the Jeep. Patton got wind of it, and that was it.
Oh, he saw it, yeah.
Wow. That's a great story.
Well, he's wandering around 3 o'clock in the morning in the rain.
Yeah, he loved it, though. Yeah, he is. That was his life. Now, we're on second time around on your book. How many pages is your book?
849.
Yeah, that's a lot of writing. And I'm sure you didn't use Google or a computer.
No.
You wrote it all on legal pads, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. old school way, right on legal pads. Would it take you about a year
What?
to write that book?
Oh, no, less than 6 months.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing. So on second time around, there's about 600 podcasts on YouTube about Mr. Jeckovich reading the book. And the book is a beautiful book. It takes him from, it's titled Their Mother's Sons. It takes him from 11 years old when he started taking care of his mother because his father died working like hell at the age of 43. And so Mr. Jeckovich took care of his mother till she was aged 89 at her demise. Every day we get many text messages. How much is the book and where can I buy it?
Not for sale.
The book is not for sale. Never will be for sale. And it's not about money, not at all. It's Mr. Jeckovich has got plenty of money and 100 years old. He doesn't need more money. The book was written for young people as a roadmap so they can live an easier and simpler life and learn some stories that Mr. Jeckovich put in the book. Everything from having an easier, happy marriage to running a laundromat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Mr. Jeckovich's mind is like a library. A true World War II veteran knocking on the door of 100. So if anyone has any questions for him, simply text him at 407-366-0000. Text him. He'll call you back or he'll answer your text. 407-366-0000, right? Marriage. Ask him questions about marriage. He's an expert. Why are you an expert? How many years were you married?
69 years.
How many?
69.
Yeah, that's an expert. That's an expert. Unfortunately, there's over 90,000 divorces in Florida every year. And what's the main reason?
Money.
Money. Money. Because it's unfortunately so expensive for young couples to live. They're both working 2 or 3 jobs, they're never home. Still not enough money to pay the bills, probably not enough money to put a down payment on the house. So it's a lot of stress. It's a lot of stress. Money, right? That's the problem. Minutes, please.
12.
12.
Yeah.
Any questions? Mr. Jeckovich ran a laundromat. The laundromat was on a beautiful location. It was on 2nd and Niagara Street, Niagara Falls. And when he went there at 2 o'clock in the morning to pick up the money from the washers, dryers, and extractors, you could hear the thunder and the roar of the falls.
Yeah.
Because it was so close.
You could smell it too.
And you could feel the mist.
Yeah.
The mist on your cars. And smell the beautiful falls. You were born there?
Huh?
You were born in Niagara Falls?
Yeah.
Mr. Jeckovich was born in Niagara Falls, New York. And he went to Niagara Falls High School. And simultaneously he went to Trott Vocational High School. And then from there he would go to downtown Main Street, which is clear across town. And he would work at Kresge's, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about how you got to all these places. What was your
I
motive?
had an old car.
But mostly you walked in high school, right?
Yeah.
You walked from 3063 Orleans Avenue to Niagara Falls High School. How many miles was that?
3 miles.
From Niagara Falls High School around noon, you had to go to Trott
That
Vocational.
was 3 miles.
And then from Trott Vocational High School, you had to go downtown.
Kresge's to go work.
All the way across. How many miles was that?
That was 10. 15
So
miles.
you had a good day.
Yeah.
Did you ever ask your mother to take you?
Huh?
Did you ever ask your mother to take you?
No.
Did you ever ask your father to take
No.
you? You did it without complaining.
Yeah.
You wonder why they say this is the best generation. Here's a tiny example. There was great patriotism back then. There's 16,400,000 young men and women participated in World War II. And now we have, of combat veterans, less than 6,000 left, and we're losing them at a rate of 150 a day, so do the math. We don't have any more World War I veterans. So do the math. If you have any questions, ask this man. Time is here. 407-366-0000. Where else did you work as a boy?
Carsdale.
What'd you do there? Stop.
Sheet metal work with my uncle.
Your uncle who?
Uncle Andy.
Was he a good guy?
Oh yeah, he was a nice guy. Yeah.
Very smart.
Yeah, 3 years at 3 months of school.
Yeah. Not much of an education,
No.
but he was smart.
Yeah.
He knew how to do those figures, and he knew how to do those math.
Yeah.
So he probably kept Croysdale sheet metal going back then.
Oh yeah, he was a king man there. Yeah.
So we knew you worked at Kresge's, Croysdale's. Where else?
I did. Well, I worked.
Yeah, as a boy, before the military. Movie
I
theaters?
worked with the Kresge's. And
movie theater?
who?
The movies?
I was an usher at the Cheyenne Cataract.
What did you do? What did
Ushers to show the people where the empty seats were.
And what did a typical usher uniform look like back in the early 40s?
Black pants with a stripe, white shirt, bow tie,
Flashlight?
flashlight. Yeah.
And what was your main job?
Finding empty seats for the customers.
Yeah. Did a bunch of Greek brothers own it?
The what?
Greek family owned it?
Yeah.
And what happened on a Saturday on a regular basis?
Our kids come in on Saturday morning and had this in the horror movie, and they all pissed their pants.
Because of a horror movie, right?
Yeah.
I don't think today a youngster would get that excited to do that because they're seeing violence every minute of their day.
Yeah.
There it was shocking because they rarely seen horror shows. And what did you do at Kresge's?
The what?
What type of work did you do at Kresge's?
Stock boy.
What type of products do they have there?
The what?
What type of products do they have at Kresge's?
What
What do they sell there?
It was a department store.
From everything from A to Z. Everything.
Oh yeah, it was a big department store. Yeah.
Did your mother work there?
She worked downstairs as a cook. Yeah.
And when you got from that long walk from Trot Vocational High School to Kresge's, did your mother have a nice lunch for you?
Well, she gave one, but I had to eat it downstairs in the
So
table.
your mother wouldn't let you eat it upstairs at the table
No.
or the lunch counter.
Yeah.
She said you must eat it in the basement.
Yeah, and don't get to make a mess.
But it was a good lunch, though.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Didn't you have a problem with a lot of the students sticking gum on the floor?
Oh yeah. Landis said, I want you to scrape all that gum. I'll get your putty knife and get all that gum off that floor. That was a wooden floor.
But you had so many jobs as a boy. Didn't you also have a paper route?
And a paper about 350 people. Gina Wasicki.
That's an all Polish newspaper?
Yeah.
Wow. Did any of your Polish customers speak English?
Oh yeah.
But they-
a lot of
they-
stuff with an accent, yeah.
But they subscribed to the Polish newspaper.
Yeah.
And were they good payers?
No, you had to fight for them.
You had to fight for your money?
Yeah.
Even 11 or 12-year-old paper boy, they try to stiff?
Yeah.
Wow. But did you eventually get paid?
Eventually, yeah.
Did your mother subscribe to the newspaper?
Huh?
Minutes? Did your mother subscribe to the newspaper?
Yeah. Just for obituary.
She just read the obituaries.
Yeah.
That's something. But, you grew up in a Polish and Italian neighborhood, and believe it or not, Niagara Falls and Buffalo were very wealthy back then. How is Niagara Falls now?
Oh, it's a dump. It's shut down.
It's completely done.
It's empty, yeah.
Yeah. But when you're a boy and you deliver those newspapers, many kids today that have so-called paper routes, their mothers help them. Did your mother ever help you with the paper
No,
route?
no.
You're on your own, right?
Yeah.
You're
On
on
my
your own.
black Knight bicycle.
A Schwinn Black Knight bicycle was really beautiful. It had a tank, had a light, and had a horn, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Battery operated.
Yeah.
That was a good investment. If you probably paid next to nothing for it then, but now they're going, if it's in nice shape, for a couple $1,000s. Schwinn Black Knight is really a sought after bike. It's very, very sought after. But you worked other places. You worked with your father at Franchitone's mansion, right?
Oh yeah, putting up storm windows, putting the food cellar downstairs.
How about what did you build for Sally?
Sally's a big dollhouse.
And who was Franchitone?
He was the only celebrity that lived in Niagara Falls.
Yeah, Franchitone and his father lived in a great big mansion at 151 Buffalo Avenue. A mega mansion. Mr. Jeckovich worked there with his father. Franchitone's son was a movie star, and he was dating Betty Grable.
3.5.
And then his father owned Carbrundum, which is a mega factory, and he got your mother and a father a job there, right?
Yeah.
And also the senior Franchitone graduated from Cornell University, and he got your brother Steve into Cornell.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all gone. They all passed away, and by the 1960s the mansion was bulldozed. What was the finest feature of the mansion? It was right on the rapids. The backyard was on the rapids, and a couple hundred feet from there was the drop of the falls. An unbelievable, gorgeous location. Now to this date, in 1961, they built Parkway Apartments, high-rise, and it's still there.
Yeah.
At the location of Franchitone Mansion, right?
Yeah.
Wow. How often did you and your dad work there?
Well,
At Franchitone Mansion?
every time he calls up, let's do something for him. Fruit cellar, put storm windows up, take them down, paint this, do this.
Minutes?
2 minutes.
Huh?
2.
But didn't your father and mother, they never had a driver's license, right?
No.
But through Franchitone, your father got a beautiful Packard.
Yeah, they stayed in the garage for a long time.
A
Until
beautiful
Stevie got
Packard.
it. Yeah.
Packards were built in the United States, a fine automobile, and they had the Flying Goddess, the great big hood ornament, and it was called the Goddess to Speed, and she looks like she was holding a flying saucer, but that was the Goddess to Speed hood ornament on that mega big Packard, and they had straight 8 cast iron engines on it, and later Cadillac copied that design.
What happened to that car? Did it just
What
sell?
happened to the Packard?
It stayed in the garage for a long time until Stevie got a hold of it.
And then what happened?
He drives it. He drove it all the time. Then when he went back to school, he took it with him.
Okay, minutes.
Oh, 2.5 or 1.5.
So do you remember driving it?
I drove it. Yeah, I drove it once in a while. Yeah.
3-speed on a steering wheel,
Yeah.
and the interior was called mohair. Mohair is a very unusual interior, and they don't have them on cars today. But many times mohair was a very velvety type of material, and back in the day they would stuff them for moss with the trees.
Yeah.
And they did a lot of mattresses that way and pillows.
Yeah.
And if that car was still here, those seats last well. They'd probably be in great shape. Minutes?
40 seconds.
So that was a big monster of a car, huh?
Oh, yeah. Well driving car, yeah.
Yeah. Gas was only 17 cents a gallon at
Yeah.
41, so $1.50 to fill it.
Yeah.
Wow. Your father must have really liked getting driven around in it.
Oh, yeah.
He really did,
He
didn't he?
never had an interest in around driving. He didn't
Isn't
want
that
to,
something?
you know,
But he always got driven around.
yeah.
That is absolutely amazing story. Packard, wow. Packard was right on the level of Cadillac.
Sounds good.
Minutes?
5. All right, we'll pick it up tomorrow.
Got another one?